Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back. So today I'm going to be filming another mod review. So I mentioned this in one of my previous videos that I wanted to show off a mod that adds neurodivergency into the Sims. And so basically with this mod, your Sim is able to be neurodivergent. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to show off this mod. So I have two different Sims to sort of try it out with. So this is the Sim that I was using last time to show off our previous mods. And actually, when I added her to my game, she automatically was neurodivergent. And when I actually had her, go ahead and go to see a psychiatrist, she was diagnosed as being on the spectrum. And so now, as you can see, there's like a lot of options that you can do. So you can follow up with your psychiatrist, you can get into therapy, there's occupational therapy, there's talk therapy, you can sign up for different support services, there's family therapy. So as you can see, there's a lot to do. I did really quickly want to show off the information for the mod itself. So, and I know that this creator has done some other mods as well related to health. And so this is like kind of within the realm of those mods. So I haven't checked out some of their other mods, but I believe they have one on like healthcare and stuff like that, which I do think would be kind of cool to try. But this mod really stuck out to me because I thought this would be a really cool like feature to have in the game. And I'm sure a lot of people would like appreciate having this kind of representation. So obviously there's the added layer of your Sims having neurodiversity, but there's also like your Sim can have high or low or normal self-esteem. And so there's support with like mental health, addiction, evaluation, treatment. So if you're wanting to have like a bit more realism for your Sims, I think you'd really probably like this mod. So your Sim can have 25 different types of mental health conditions. And so it can affect anywhere from infants to elders. And also your Sims can have addictions as well. So even just like with loading into my game and having a few Sims, I've noticed that a few of them have already been diagnosed with neurodiversity. So like you don't have to like set it, it will just like automatically decide. I will say of the two Sims in my household right now, one of them is neurotypical. So it's not like every single time they will be, but there is definitely a chance. And so I would say so far, just with the little bit that I've been playing with this the last few days, I do feel like this is like very in depth. There's a lot of detail and I really, really like this so far. And I feel like this is probably the best mod that I've seen as far as like representation for different mental health conditions, disorders, stuff like that. So I thought this is a really cool mod. So as far as triggering the mod, it is just automatic. So it does look like there is an auto assign function that will just like, there's like a file that will like auto assign disorder. So I left that in. I assume you can maybe take it out if you don't want it to be automatic. But I like it to be random. I like my game to decide for me. And you can also manually assign specific disorders as well from the Divergent Sims menu if you go to the actions on your Sim. And you can also send your Sim, like I mentioned, this is what I did with one of my Sims. You can send them to a psychiatrist. And there'll be a small chance that your Sim will be randomly assigned and be diagnosed something. So, and then there's also neurodiversity and self-esteem. So all Sims will randomly get their level of self-esteem and also neurodiversity. So they'll either be neurotypical or neurodivergent upon aging up, and they'll either have low, neutral, or high self-esteem. So we'll look at it later, but I added a second Sim to the household, and she got low self-esteem, but she was neurotypical, versus the other Sim, I think she had like normal self-esteem, and she was neurodivergent. So there's quite a bit of variation. And when I added this to my game, it just automatically assigned those once I loaded the Sims in. And so then we also have multiple conditions. So Sims with certain conditions are more likely to develop others. So that basically meaning that your Sim can have like more than one type of disorder. So they can have a body or personality disorder or neurological conditions, stuff like that. So also children have early childhood development. So they have youth development. And then for adults, it's changed to mental health services. And your kids can also be evaluated by a psychiatrist. So, and then you can potentially get a diagnosis from that. So as you can see, this kid was diagnosed as being on the spectrum. And then there are also treatments as well. So your sim can be prescribed medication, depending on what type of issue or like what condition they have. And also medication can also potentially have side effects as well. So like I said, this is very, very in-depth. I've only been playing with it for like a few days now, but there's like a lot to explore here. So there's also support groups, there's therapy with family, and also there's like self-help options. So you can eat healthier, exercise, meditate, all that stuff. So, and like I said, there's different types of therapy as well. So there's talk therapy, there's occupational therapy. And also, if you have this mod, I don't have this mod in my game, but if you had the base mental mod, you can also self-medicate as well. I don't have that mod in my game, but if you do play with that mod and you kind of want to have your sim go down that route, that is like incorporated, which I think is interesting. But yeah, so there also is a list of all the different conditions and disorders. And there also are new like social interactions. So they can like discuss concerns over undiagnosed child, bond over shared conditions, argue, yell at, and place blame on other sims during bad moods, express compassion, suggest coping techniques. You kind of get the idea. So, okay, the main thing that I would mention is that you do want to download this mod by this like mood pack mod, which that's required for this to work. And then you'll also want to get this general pies menu. But other than that, it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. This mod is base game. So, and it looks like the only thing is that it does use an animation from the spooky stuff pack, but it's not required for this to work. So anyway, that is like a brief overview of some of what this mod does. And then I wanted to go into game and show off a little bit. So obviously this sim has already been diagnosed. So she is diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. So, and then it has a bit of a description here. So once your sim is diagnosed, it is added as like a reward trait. Also, what I thought was kind of cool, because there's a lot of detail with this. When I sent her for a therapy session, she actually was able to decide like for like autism, you have like special interests. And you can actually choose what your sim's special interest is. So there were a few options, but so her special interest was in the arts. So now anytime she does anything for the arts, she's like very motivated from that. She really loves like anything creative. So that was really cool as well, because you can choose that. But then obviously now if I go on her, we have the mental services option. So like I said, she can follow up with a psychiatrist. We could go to the pharmacy because it was suggested that she take medication. Okay, so she could, for example, get prescribed a medication. Why don't we go ahead and purchase that? I'm curious to see how that might help. Also, I think I might try to have her maybe do something a bit creative, because she does like anything artistic. So I know that if she does, I have gotten her to get like positive moodlets about that. Like anytime she does anything creative, like it puts her in a better mood. So, okay, so now she has her medication. Also, hopefully this will come up, but a lot of the times when she's around a lot of people, she'll get like a burnt out reaction because she like has a hard time talking to people sometimes. Okay, let's just start by doing a little bit of painting. Okay, so I'll just have her paint a little bit. Okay, and so far we have this medication. I think I'll have her take some. Apparently there's supposed to be like an animation of her actually taking it. Okay, interesting. All right, I wonder if we get any sort of effect. Okay, holding steady. While everything doesn't feel completely normal, the medication does help Clara to feel a bit more in control, if not a bit restless. Okay, so yeah, she has that little moodlet now. Also, I would like to check out with this sim here. So for Emily, this is a sim that I added to like kind of have a second sim to sort of explore the features with. So she automatically, when I added her in, she got low self-esteem. So a sim's self-esteem is important to their overall mental and physical well-being. It plays a large role in a sim's self-image or how they see themselves. So her self-esteem is low. She lacks natural confidence. It will take a while to build a healthy level of self-esteem, but only with patience and persistence and grace. So, and you actually apparently can build your self-esteem up, which I think that's kind of cool. So self-esteem can be built up by confidence, exercising, and engaging in wellness activities, self-help activities, and therapy. And like I said, she is neurotypical. So this means that the sim's brain functions similar to most others of the same age. I am curious to see, though, if we do go to see a psychiatrist, if we do get any sort of like diagnosis, because she's not like autistic or she doesn't have ADHD, but she could have something else. So I'm curious to see what will happen if we go. So why don't we go ahead and send her to that? Also, I probably should have mentioned it earlier, but I guess big trigger warning for different types of mental conditions, also eating disorders. So if this is something that you find triggering, you might not want this mod depending on how you feel about it. I struggle with a lot of stuff, but I don't personally mind. But, just like proceed with caution, consider what's best for yourself. So, but our sim is back and she was diagnosed with an eating disorder. So, and then it kind of goes into a little bit of and it will kind of go into a little bit of like what this will look like, sort of some of the symptoms and stuff like that. So, and then it will suggest, after the diagnosis, it will also suggest treatment options. So, let's see. So the psychiatrist recommends a treatment plan which includes therapy, which can help a sim's outlook. So they can also potentially use medication. So you could say, yes, therapy and medication, yes, just therapy, just medication, or no treatment right now. So let's go ahead and do both. So treatments don't work for everyone. Is Emily sure she wants to pursue medication as a treatment option? And we'll say yes. So she was recommended to try talk therapy. So as a treatment for Emily, talk therapy is widely accepted, effective treatment for a variety of conditions. And then she was also prescribed antidepressants. So she was prescribed fluoxetine and she can purchase it at the pharmacy. Okay, so they both ended up getting a diagnosis of something actually, which is interesting. Okay, and actually now she has some new options after getting diagnosed. So she can talk with a nutritionist. Of course, we have the pharmacy and we can go to talk therapy. So I guess first we'll have her get her medication. So you spend like $50 and you get like a month's worth of medication. So we'll have her go ahead and take her medication. And then of course she has this new trait here with her disorder. So yeah, she took her medication. She has her little side effect. And then I'll go ahead and also have her attend a therapy session. Ooh, she also is actually getting some new moodlets. I was waiting for some to pop up because she definitely has gotten some. So we have TikTok. So Clara is just so bored. It's like, why is time moving so slowly? Why can't she get into anything? And so that's from her being on the spectrum. We also have socially anxious. Clara tends to get a little anxious when interacting with non-friends. So that's happened a lot where like anytime she's around people that she doesn't know, she gets a little bit anxious, a little bit nervous. And so also, I don't know if this will pop up while we're playing. I hope if she goes to work tomorrow, maybe we'll get this. But there's a few times where she's gotten burnt out from work as well, specifically because of being on the spectrum. So I thought that was another interesting detail. And then it looks like our sim is back from her therapy. So let's see if we got any kind of moodlets. Okay, enlightened session. So something really came together today for Emily during that session. She feels inspired to make some changes, hopefully for the better. Okay, so yeah, that kind of helped her a little bit. And it seems like over time that you could maybe help like improve conditions, stuff like that, if you attend sessions overall. I am curious though, one thing that I kind of want to try is I wonder what will happen if I send my sim again to get diagnosed or like to visit a psychiatrist again, because obviously she's already been diagnosed, but you actually have the option to send your sim again if you want to have like a follow-up. And I'm curious if we'll get the same results or if anything will change. So I might send her to kind of see that. But yeah, as you can see, there is a lot of detail. Oh, and she's actually has another moodlet. Okay, so we have this new moodlet which says exhausting weight. So Emily feels so tired. The weight of this exhaustion makes everything else feel so heavy, even just sitting up. So yeah, so you'll definitely get quite a bit of different moodlets affecting your sim over time and just kind of like impacting their everyday. So, okay, so this is the result of the follow-up consultation with her psychiatrist. So they discussed the effectiveness of her medication. So would she like to try a new medication or go off meds? So you can try additional meds. You can request a service dog. Oh my gosh, do we actually get a dog if we do that? I want to do that. Okay, we can go off medication. If we get a service dog, oh my gosh, I didn't know they had this. Oh, that's so interesting. So Clara has heard from the other Sims. I didn't know this was a feature with service dogs and done some research on service dogs and really thinks that one would greatly benefit her as she learns to navigate her daily life. You know, this is so funny. I've literally thought about getting a service dog for myself. So I didn't expect that they would have this detail in here. So after all, psychiatric service dogs are specifically trained to assist those like her. Is that something that the psychiatrist thinks would be a viable option as a part of Clara's treatment plan? Let's do it. Okay.
Ooh, the narg.
No, did they say no? In the psychiatrist's professional opinion, boo, a psychiatrist dog wouldn't be beneficial as a part of her treatment plan. What? Then why did you offer it to me if you were going to be like, no? Well, that's too bad. I would have liked to see if we were actually given a dog. Like, I'm curious to see if we would have actually been given one. Maybe I'll send Emily to go to another session. I guess we just went. Oh, we can also sign up for support groups. Maybe I'll have her sign up for, let's see, okay. So it looks like you also have to be eligible for certain ones. So she's eligible for, we have quite a few. We have behavioral therapy, we have group therapy, which that's what she can do. We have occupational therapy, play therapy, speech therapy, talk therapy, and professional tutoring sessions. Okay, well, we'll send her to group therapy. All of the therapy in this part. Okay. All right, so now she's signed up for group therapy. So we're back from our session. I'm disappointed about the service dog. I wanted a service dog. That's okay. All right, and then I think we can also have her go to therapy session as well. So she can, let's see, what can she sign up for? She can sign up for behavioral therapy. We'll have her sign up for that. So yeah, we can go to behavioral therapy. So, and then we also have occupational therapy. We also have family support therapy. I wonder, okay, because I did make, these two are cousins, so they could go together. So if you want to have your sim go together as a family, you can go ahead and do that. I think I'll send her to behavioral therapy. Okay, well, I'm just going to send her to this final therapy session. I think you guys probably get the idea of like what comes with this mod. Obviously, there's a lot. There's a lot with it, so I wasn't able to go over every single detail with this mod, but I kind of explored some of the different features. So let's see, and she did get a little moodlet from her therapy session, so sticking with it. So while it may be frustrating and time-consuming to stick with the recommended therapies, Clara knows that it'll be worth it in the long run as she improves. So yeah, this is just like a little bit of a short little look at this mod. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this mod. I'll have it linked in the description below for you guys to check out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.